Good evening. I wanted to jump back into the Worst Neighbor Ever series on Netflix. I've wrapped it up, so I'm wanting to do a brief review on episode 3 and episode 4. I'm going to do separate videos for them, but I'm going to do Fear Thy Neighbor, which was episode 3 of this season. Um, Fear Thy Neighbor was about a couple named Melina and Miles, and by all accounts, life was good, life was happy, life was great. They both had children from previous relationships and decided to get married and start a life together. And they found a home that they were really excited about. Now, their parents were kind of a little bit concerned because they felt that it might not have been the safest area to live in, but they decided to go ahead and get the home, and they decided they're going to, with intentions to renovate and update. And they had neighbors who had lived in their home or rented their home for over 30 years. They had a son, JT, who lived in the garage. Um, but eventually, the owner of the home ended up passing away, and the family members ended up selling the home. And so you think, okay, you have to move because it's a sad, unfortunate thing, but they're getting rid of the property and they don't plan on renting, then you're going to have to move out. And JT eventually started showing up and started squatting in the home and just kind of becoming a nuisance. So obviously, you can't just break into the garage, even though you used to live there, you don't live there anymore. So eventually, his antics start to increase and he starts knocking on the door and harassing Melina and Miles, to the point that it just gets out of control. And then Melina finds out that she's pregnant with her and Miles' first child together, and so they need to beef up the security. So they do get a security system, and she's working from home, so obviously heightened fear because you're pregnant and you have a nuisance ex neighbor who keeps showing up, breaking windows. Like constantly knocking on their doors. And the police felt like it wasn't a high enough security risk because of the increased crime in the surrounding area. So unfortunately, they fell to the wayside. Um, it seems like he was under the influence. And then another issue is this during the COVID-19 pandemic. So unfortunately, crimes like his weren't considered serious or more nuisance complaints. So you get arrested and for doing the things that JT was doing, and you're going to be released faster just because for safety factors and not having prisoners on top of each other try to slow the mode of transmission. So eventually it does, and all of these just end so tragic this season. I mean, they're always tragic, but it's just a tragedy this season. But JT does end up shooting Miles and killing him, and Melina does end up giving birth to their child. He does end up getting charged with first degree murder. Again, another sad instance where this all could have been avoided. Mental health is such a crisis in this country, and just the lack of follow up and all the correlating issues surrounding trying to, how do you, or attempting to get this man to stop harassing this family when he's obviously being stressed and not being able to mentally handle being displaced, not having a home, and then the added stress on this family because you're excited about your new home, about all the renovations, all the updates, the dreams, the futures that you have. And then for it to end like this is really sad. It really was a tragic tale, an avoidable story. But yeah, that was episode 3, Fear Thy Neighbor, um, in the Worst Neighbor Ever series. Oh, I wanted to add to that too. I knew I was leaving off part of the ending. Um, due to the extent of JT's crimes and all the harassment that he was doing, and then the lack of action by the police, there was a suit filed and they ended up settling, or they received a $2.4 million settlement. Um, because of the failure to act, resulting in the harassment. And Melina's baby girl's name is Ava. And then Miles' three children moved back with their biological mother. And then, unfortunately, Melina lives, not unfortunately, but sadly, Melina is living her life with her two daughters, without Miles. But I didn't want to forget to add that part. All right. Thanks.